Welcome. It's just me and you so far. Welcome, welcome. Can you unmute yourself?
Oh,
There we go.
well, I
Hello.
wasn't I wasn't sure. I canceled on something else so I could get in here this morning. So I'm
Oh, yay.
it's
Well, it's
it's
so
eight
good to see.
o'clock West Coast time. So I was on the phone with doctors and doing all sorts of stuff. So, it was busy morning. But
Oh,
I'm here. I made
yay.
it.
Do you want to? You're welcome to turn your camera on if you feel comfortable. If not,
Oh,
that's okay too.
sure. I just have to take a look. Okay, it says you cannot start your video because the host has disabled it.
Hang on.
Okay.
Hang on. That's me. I mean, okay,
Not that
try that.
not that you probably want to know. Oh, there we go.
Yay, there you
There
are.
we go. Not that you want to look at me this early
Oh,
in the
I
morning.
do. I do. Remind me again where you're at, Heather. I forget. You mentioned.
I'm not in British Columbia.
Okay. That's beautiful
Yes.
there.
Right at the border. Right at the border. I'm from Seattle originally. So
Okay. Okay.
yeah, I'm an American, but I'm also now Canadian. So I've been here for 42 years.
Oh my gosh. Oh my
I know.
gosh.
I
Do
love
you
it
have
here. It's
do,
beautiful, and then we're right at the beach, and yeah, it's nice.
do you have family there?
Uh, no, I have a sister who lives in Washington State, so I help her a lot because she's wheelchair bound and she had an episode. She has congestive heart failure. She's morbidly obese and she's just got a lot of health issues. So, anyway, I've been going down. I drive down about 80 miles to her house and I go visit her and help her out for a few days at a time. So, anyway,
Oh,
that's my family. And then she has a son. So I don't
okay.
see him very often. He's so busy working. So, and my daughter, and her husband and our two grandchildren, they moved to Perth, Australia.
Gosh.
Yeah, quite some time ago. So anyway, it's just my husband and myself, and yeah, we're retired. But I said, well, what am I going to do in retirement? And then when I came across all this, I went, oh, this is right up my alley.
Oh, I love that so much. I love that excitement. Oh yeah. It's like when you know. It's like this is it.
I know people have said to me, but you're retired. And I said, well, I don't have a lot of money to travel. So now what am I going to do? And then they say, but you're retired. So I got to do something. I can't just sit home all day and can't garden or paint all day. What am I supposed to do? So I said, do something that you really enjoy. And I've been really on a kind of a search the last few years and asking myself, what do you want to do? And all this, because you have all this time now. And so I just, I kind of sent it out to the universe. And there was Suzanne, showed up the next day on Facebook. And I went, oh, this is no mistake.
Oh, I love it. I love it. I love it. When you ask, it just comes sometimes immediately, but when we're open and things just happen, I love that so much. That's the way that it happened for me too. Yeah.
Oh, did
Yeah.
it?
Yep,
So you
very much.
said you became a nurse after you were a doula giver, or
No, I've been a nurse, an LPN for over 30 years. Yeah, and I
are you
just
old enough?
yes, yes,
You
yeah.
don't look old enough.
Oh,
Years.
yeah. My baby's 30. Yeah. So, yeah,
Gosh.
yeah. Clarice, I saw your note. Yes, you are not lurking at all. I don't feel that way at all. So I'm sorry that you're at work again, but yes, you are. Well, I'll keep checking the chat and just please pop in if you have any questions or anything like that. So I'm glad you're here. Absolutely. Absolutely. Yeah. Um, yeah, so I was a nurse. I am a nurse still, and I just always knew I wanted to do end of life work, and I was just killing myself as a nurse. I was just burnt out, and I wanted to do hospice, and that was
Mhm.
my goal. And I found a hospice company, um, and um, and I thought, oh my gosh, this is it. And then I was working 60 or 80 hours a week, and I was killing myself. And by that time, I had been a doula, and I thought, oh my gosh, I'm going to be a doula and a nurse, and it's going to be amazing. And I about killed myself. And it was, I love how we're all just divinely guided here. When I was about 6 months into being a hospice nurse, I fell and slipped on the ice and broke my arm. And I felt at that time, I was like, oh my gosh, major accident. But what I realized is that I was not living in alignment. Like the universe was telling me, slow down. You don't need to be like, this isn't because I was just racing around, driving all over the place. And I wasn't taking care of myself yet again. And the universe said, slow down, sister. So that was another awakening. Sometimes it takes me to get knocked way down to realize, you're
Yes.
not in alignment. And so since that time, I have been really fully embracing the doula. And so that's been at least a couple of years of just really just letting go and
What
building my
what
practice.
what have you or what were you doing then during those 5 years of COVID, from 2020 up to about now or last year? What were you doing in that time then? Were you nursing or were you doula caring or what were you doing?
Yeah, a little bit of everything. During COVID, well, I had just my own personal story. I had done some intense caretaking. Hi, Sydney. Welcome. Welcome. Good to see you. Thank you for coming. Yeah, um, I had been nursing and caring for all my people and everybody. My father-in-law was living with us. My mother-in-law was in a nursing home. I was taking care of my mom. The kids were like in the middle, we were in that sandwich where the kids weren't quite launched and like hard years of just caregiving and working full time. My husband was working out of town and it was just crazy, crazy sauce. And I didn't take care of myself at all. So I got really sick. And so during COVID, is I went out because I was unable to work, and I hadn't processed my grief at all because everybody died within 2 years, and we had a huge fire in our community where half my friends lost their home. Like it was just kind of this crescendo of
Yeah, just
hard, and I just didn't take care of myself. And so I got really sick. And so at that moment, I too, Heather, was just like I'm not happy in my job. I love being a nurse, but I just felt like I'm giving like there's nothing left for me. And um, so I sat somebody had said to me, why don't you have you heard of a death doula? And like three different people in within 2 days said, what's have you heard of a death doula? And so I sat in
oh,
contemplation and I'm like, what is it that I'm supposed to be doing? And even before those people mentioned it, I heard the name death doula and I had no idea what that was. And then the three people said something, and I'm like, okay, pay attention. There's something to that. And then the next day, I started doing a Google search and I found Suzanne and I took her 90-minute free training and I thought, this is it. So that was during COVID. So I was given a forced pause from work. And then that was in 2020. And so since then, it has been, I mean, I've been a nurse for a really long time and that's been part of my identity. And there's some security in that. But I've retired twice from nursing. so,
yeah.
so just really embracing the process. I've been doing a ton of outreach in my community, and I do a lot of just networking, trying to build my business. And my path is a little. Like I really the doula clients that come to me have been very organic and by word of mouth. Even though I'm doing a ton of networking and marketing, it has really been organic and beautiful. So I've had
Oh,
several clients, and I seem to be. I mention this a lot. The You guys will begin as you practice, as you continue to build your practice. You're going to notice a theme, like you might be a doula of children, you might be a pet doula, you might be a doula who has a certain type of diagnosis, and it might be based on your past experiences. And I think that's where we teach from our life's curriculum of really being able to find our niche in
mhm.
areas that we're familiar with. I have another friend of mine she's a doula giver, but she did a ton of grief work with David Kessler, and so she like if anyone's dealing with grief, I refer to her because she's really well versed in that. So, but my wheelhouse seems to be ALS and cancer, and so I seem to be people just find me, and so I
Mhm.
so anyway, that's kind of a long story, but I think that as you guys go on, you're going to notice a theme. Like you're going to be known for, certain types of ailments or situations. People are just going to find out about you. It's quite powerful,
Right.
beautiful. So yeah,
Ah, well,
yeah.
you can see patterns over
Oh, very
time,
much, very much.
you
Yeah,
know.
very much.
It's
Yeah.
wonderful. I think that's exciting.
It is exciting. It is, and I'm so excited for you all because it is just such a powerful journey of just self-exploration and healing ourselves, things that we may not even have an awareness of. And then the community here is amazing. Like not only are we getting prepared to do this work, but we're also building this beautiful community of people that are as passionate about this. And in turn, I mean, I do care if I get another client in the future, but really what it has helped me to do is become more comfortable with my own end of life experience. And I think if that's all I get out of this, then I've won the jackpot. So
That's wonderful. Oh, that's so exciting.
yeah, thank you. Well, enough about me. I've been yapping on. So I'm here to support you guys. So the homework, just to remind you guys, it's about the stabilization phase. So have you guys has anyone had any? Hello, good to see you. Is it Vernada? Beautiful name. Welcome, welcome. I'm gonna ask you to unmute. There you go.
Yes, it's
Hello.
Vernita. Thank you. Sorry I'm late.
Well,
I've been trying to join. I've been on the road. And I just pulled over because this is my first time and I didn't want to miss you all today.
wonderful. Welcome. I'm so glad that you pulled over.
Thank you.
Well, this time is about you guys. And so it's open, but this is a small group. And so you can just unmute yourself. It is being recorded. So if you have any background noise, just be sure and mute yourself. But really, this is just an opportunity for you guys to really talk about the homework. And then in the next hour, we will go ahead and do the breakout rooms, which will be super fun too. And but this hour is just really about asking any questions to see how you guys are doing, and then um, yeah, just support you in any way that we can. So the homework assignment was about the stabilization phase, and I'm just wondering how you guys were. How did that land with you? And then also, have you had an opportunity to maybe practice or maybe write down some ideas on how you might practice? And maybe if you guys want, if you don't have any questions, we could actually do some role playing and practicing with that. That might be an option too. So, yeah, so I'll just kind of shut up and see if you guys have any questions or what I can do to support you.
Well, for me, you're Christine, right?
I am. Yeah, it's nice
Okay.
to meet
So
you.
Chris, thank you. So I've been doing self-paced and I am on module 6, I believe.
Okay.
Um, I was speaking with Erica yesterday and she, kind of introduced me to you, told me about the call, sent me the link. So I didn't know what to expect. So I am self-pacing because my goal is to be complete the program prior to the classes that are held every Tuesday evening. So I'm trying to get finished by say the end of June maybe.
Right.
So I don't know. So is it still good for me to come to the 11 o'clock or should I come to the 12 o'clock or, because I was told that you're already a doula.
I
And
am.
and I was told that I could even start even before finishing the certification program because I've had several missed opportunities, um, and because I didn't know. So, what would you say about that?
Are you
As far
asking
as
if
getting started prior to finishing, the program, or while I'm finishing a program, like if I was to get some clients, is that something that's recommended?
a little bit of hesitation, and I honor, like, I'm so excited for you that you already have potential clients and things like that. Depending on, can I ask what your background is? Are you,
Sure. Sure. I've already qualified for my bedside hours. I've had, most recently, my mother, I took her to Virginia Hospital Center, which is a hospital here in the DMV area. And I thought I was just taking her to the emergency room and have her checked out, and then we would be, discharged and sent back home. But we stayed 11 days, and I went through the shock phase, the stabilization phase, the transition phase. I went through all of that in 11 days. And so she passed away on June 16th of 24. And prior to her, I was with my sister who had a neurological progressive brain disorder. And so I was with her and was in hospice with her. So I've had a lot of experience working in a hospice facility. One of my coworkers was in a hospice. It was more like a home hospice place. And I went through the training there. To volunteer, you had to go through training, you had to get shots. And so I did that as well. So I've been centered around this all of my life. I have 30 years with Care First Blue Cross Blue Shield, where I would go out and do open enrollment meetings, but that was about medical insurance. So it's still all related because I used to be a claims processor. I mean, it's like I was created for this. It seems like this was God ordained, not that I wanted it, but because He's given that to me. And I've had so many different experiences, and I do recognize the need for it, how little trained and uneducated and unaware and unprepared that many families are. And I just feel like it's my responsibility to do this because it's just been presented to me that way. So with all of that being said, so that's pretty much the experience and background that I have.
I'm like, oh my gosh, I'm so glad that you're here. And oh my gosh, like my jaw is dropping open. I mean, yes, 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 yes. Yes. So thank you for answering the call. I was just having a conversation with Heather when she first popped on, and it's just like we cannot deny how we ended up in this space. And it's just all of these life
Yeah,
experiences have led us to this space and time.
yeah,
So thank
yeah.
you, thank you, thank you. Um, yes,
Somebody has to do it.
yes,
Yeah.
yes, yeah, yeah. And so it's so hard,
Is this
as you're
Heather
going
here?
through
Is
it.
that Heather in the burgundy or the red top? Is that Heather?
Hmm.
Yes.
Hi, Heather.
Hello. I just want to say I should have gone to the technical thing because all I'm seeing is Christine and myself. I'm not seeing anyone else. What do I
You
tap
don't
on?
Are you
see?
on your phone or on
I'm
your
on an I'm on an iPad.
okay, you might be able to just swipe the screen one way or the other. Um,
Oh yeah, yeah. I see Sydney as well now. I
There we
swiped
go.
over. Yeah. Hi,
There we
Sydney.
go.
Hi,
Oh,
Clarice.
okay. There we go.
Can you see
Clarice,
everybody now?
yep. Can you see
Heather,
everybody?
can you see everybody?
I see three of you. Yes.
Great. Clarice is working. She says hi there. She's
Yes,
working,
yes.
so
Hi,
she's
Clarice.
yep, she said she's with us, but she's going to stay off camera. So yes. So I just wanted to say the recommendation is you are in training as a doula, and you can certainly say that to people. I don't feel that it would be recommended to charge clients at this moment because you haven't received your certification.
Yeah.
So you're already volunteering, like you're already like you're already there. So the process is just to go ahead and continue to do the training. And once have you already submitted your bedside hours and
Yes.
okay. So yeah, so we're just gonna just hold you back just a little bit until you complete your certification. And it sounds like you're on the fast track for completing that certification, which fly a little bird fly, just go for it. And then but you can't really call yourself a certified end of life doula until you've
Until you're
completed the
certified.
training. Yeah, exactly.
Right.
So you're so close, but I mean, you are so far ahead of the game. I think part of it is sometimes people struggle with the bedside hours because they haven't started that process for
Yeah.
volunteering. So that's just a message for all of you girls that are here to just go ahead and that'll be important to get your bedside hours before you complete your certification. And so the sometimes we can use our past experience that you beautifully described, but sometimes we can't always we it may not always qualify. So having going ahead and getting established with the volunteer services with hospice services. Now, Heather, since you're in Canada, there are different it's a little different. And so there's some extra support for our Canadian sisters and brothers, doula givers, that will be able to kind of help you find places where you can find some volunteer hours or to get your bedside hours. So is it Vernita or Vernetta?
Bernita.
Vernita, perfect. Okay,
Yes.
so you're almost there. So I would just say probably not be able to charge people at this point, but saying that you are in
I wouldn't
training.
even know how. I wouldn't even know how. I have to learn all of that still.
Yeah, yeah. And so
Yeah.
when you complete your training, and you are welcome to go at whatever pace feels right for you. I always encourage people to join in on the live semester, even though you've already done that particular training. There is live Q&A that you can, if you have any particular questions, you're always welcome to join us there. But you can also watch the recording as well. So I would just say when you finish, when you get your certification, you'll have to take an exam, and then you're going to get an email with all the business building things that you can help really fully launch your business. And Doula Givers has done such an amazing job, starting your business in 90 days. There's all of these beautiful assets that are available to help fully get you launched. So, but
I believe that, I'm sorry, I
go
believe
ahead.
that those items were included under bonuses on my account. And
Perfect.
I've printed all of that out already.
Great.
And I'm going to be flying out to Dallas tomorrow. And so I'm taking all of that stuff with me. And I'm taking module 7 and 8 with me as well. So, yeah,
Go.
it's going to be busy.
Good for you.
I'm retired, so I have nothing but I'm retired, so I have nothing but time, you know.
Love it. Love it. I love
So
it.
this is, I mean, it's just been perfect how things have played out as far as timing goes. Wasn't perfect for me to lose my mother, but right afterwards, everything just started coming and dropping. Like it was instinctively prepared. So here I
Mhm.
am.
And where are you located?
I live in Washington D.C.
Okay. Okay. Okay.
for now.
For now.
Yeah, yeah. I would love to move abroad, but there's a lot going on in this world, so I think I'm stuck for the moment. But I would like to travel around. I even wanted to go to Thailand, and I know that Suzanne had some experience and has spent some time in Thailand, and that is one place that I did want to go and spend some time as
Wow.
well. So, but yeah, but so in the beginning, I'm going to be here in the DMV. I live like a mile from Maryland and maybe 5 miles from Virginia. So I can service Maryland, Virginia, and DC. So
Perfect.
yeah.
Perfect.
Oh,
I grew up there.
what?
You did. So Cindy, where are you? What state are you in?
At the moment, I'm in Massachusetts, outside of
Okay.
Boston.
Okay. And Heather, you're in Canada. I was
Yeah.
in Canada. I was in Canada last year. I loved
Oh,
it. It's so beautiful. I love it there.
we welcome you all. Like I was telling
Thank you.
Christine, I'm an American, but I've been living here for 42 years. So
Wow. That's
yeah,
about that's a lifetime.
I married my childhood sweetheart. I met
Oh
him when I
wow.
was 13 in Bellingham, Washington, and then things we just stayed friends over the years. And after my first marriage failed, I married my childhood sweetheart. I was 13 when I met him, and so yeah, it's been like
That's a
50,
beautiful story.
50 60
So,
years we've been known each other. Woo!
where in Canada are you?
In British Columbia,
BC.
right? Yeah, right by White Rock, BC. It's in Surrey, South Surrey, right by the border. So I have a sister in Washington State and she needs help. So I go down and I help her. And yeah, it's nice.
Yeah.
Oh, hey, I wanted to ask Sydney and Vernita. Dang it, I'm sorry.
You can just say B.
B. Okay, good. Thank you. Um, so Suzanne's doing her book signing in Boston. Are you guys? I don't know how close that is.
Well,
On May 30th. So I
yeah,
hope that you guys can go. That would be
I
so
can't
exciting to
go.
meet
I was
Suzanne.
planning on when we had our class, I looked it up. I have it written down here somewhere. But what I found is that she is going to be within a greater celebration for one of the public radio stations here, WBUR. And it's a whole big event.
Okay.
The ticket, in order to get in just to see her at one, she'll be one of many, right, in a booth. So the ticket just for that day is over $158 or something like that. It's quite expensive. Um,
Okay.
so people should just know that. It's not like she's gonna be at a smaller event that's just her. It's like, and because it's encompassed with a lot of other things, I think it's quite, like the weekend is like $500 to $600, and the day every day is like so it's pretty pricey, unfortunately. Because I was like, oh, I'll go down, but I don't know if it makes sense really to go down. Just to see. I don't know yet, but that's a lot of money at the moment just to, for a
Sure.
book signing.
Sure. She did mention something about trying to connect before or after. So
Yeah.
Wendy, I can't remember her last name. Wendy, who's a previous graduate, is trying to make a connection with other doula givers. And so
Okay.
maybe if you are able to go to that actual event, there might be some kind of gathering before or after that. So
I
I
would
would
love
just
that. I mean, how do I find out? Do you
So
know?
Wendy G, let me just go in my Facebook.
I would love to connect with other people in the area, and I would love to
There's quite a
go
few.
down. It's just that, like, yeah, there wasn't anything else like for a Friday evening. There wasn't anything else in that. I don't know. It just seemed like a lot to.
Yeah, I
Hi.
completely understand. So let me see. Wendy, her name is Wendy Getchell Lacey. I'll put her name in the
Okay.
chat. And I would love, I mean, yeah, I mean, even if aren't able to, be a part of that particular event, I know
Yeah, I
that
was even
she
gonna
would love
look
to
and
connect.
message her and see if, because she's in the area, if she would be um doing something outside of the WBUR.
Yeah, she made
You
mention
know,
of it. I'm trying to think. I listened to her um recently in another group, and I can't remember which one, but
okay.
she and Wendy were trying to put something together. So
Okay.
so
I'll reach
just
out.
Yeah, Wendy's in our spring semester group. So
Yeah, I
Edie,
recognize her name. So
perfect. Yeah,
I'll reach out to her.
great.
Listen,
Great.
I wasn't planning, I was gonna write a little blurb in the Facebook group, but since she made an appearance here, I don't know if you can see her. This is Callie.
Oh,
And the only reason that I would that I'm just gonna say something here, I will put something in the Facebook group, but our last I think it was this past Tuesday, we talked about pets and end of life and things like that, right? So I do a lot of rescue work, actually mostly with wildlife, but Callie, I was called in April by a rescue group. Callie was a pet for almost 13 years to someone who passed away. And there was no uh, plan for the cat or anything like that. And long story short, I guess this person had dementia for quite a while as well. There was a bunch of things going on. So she was neglected actually for quite a while and not cared for. And by the time animal control found her, she was in very rough shape and they wanted to just put her down. And the rescue took her and said, no, we'll give it let's see what we can do. So anyway, this is what happens to animals who, are not thought about or no plans are made for them and things like that. So it is important. So I'm the retirement home for wayward, sick, elderly animals. This is my second time. She has end stage kidney failure and anemia and a bunch of things. But as I said, I wouldn't have mentioned it here, but since she just made an appearance, I thought I was gonna introduce her and write up a little something on the Facebook thing just to say, hey, yeah, you know what? There's like really great animals out there that need help and love after death of loved ones as well. So
I was thinking that's beautiful. That could be your niche, right? I think we're all looking for, what is it
I
that
didn't
is
think
in
I could
full
talk about
alignment and
that.
and when we are, I think that's kind of the beauty of how we find our way as doula givers is that we find things that are in full alignment of just our experiences and what we're passionate about. Sometimes people do, um, they're passionate about veterans and they're passionate about, there's doulas that are pet doulas, helping pets to transition. And so it can just be this beautiful experience of aligning what feels right for you. And I think I would love for you to post that. Please do that because I think that we can't minimize the effect of our children and our pets of what death can really affect those beautiful beings. So I'm so glad that your beautiful kitty has you. I'm glad that she made an appearance. Beautiful. Yeah,
She was a
Heather.
sweet one.
I was going to say, I've always done service work and nothing's ever been fulfilling, but I know service work is where I'm supposed to be. And it wasn't until I was about to retire I went to work for a florist. And when I was working, I said, oh, yeah, I was learning the trade and it was wonderful and it was creative and everything. And then I said, oh, I'd like to do deliveries because sometimes the phones and the computers are going and the orders are coming in and it's a lot of work. But through the florist, it's the best job I ever had. And it was the deliveries, delivering our florals to churches for funerals, delivering to cemeteries, delivering to all these places that the rest of the staff would not go. And I was the one, I'll go. And I absolutely loved it. In a way, like I said, walking through cemeteries, I would talk to the spirits. And then even in the churches, you know, my boss, she would say, "Oh, I can't walk in there. Oh, there's a coffin over there, and there's a man laying in there, you know, and you'd see his nose." And I'd say, "Don't worry, look over and hey, Mr. So and so." I don't know who he was, but I would say, you know, "I hope you had a wonderful life here. You'll have a great time in the next life." And so, anyway, I would deliver these flowers and then I'd go to people's homes. And I had a woman sit on her porch once and she said, "Do you have a minute to sit with me?" And I didn't want to rush off because I could tell she needed someone to talk to. So I said, "Yes, I'll, you know, sit with you for a few minutes. I've got 5 minutes I can spare you." And so we were sitting on the front porch. And I said, "These are wonderful that you get flowers from your daughter every year." And she looked at me and she got all teary eyed. She said, "My daughter sends these flowers to me every year on her birthday to thank me for having her, to bringing her into life." And I sat there and I went, "Oh, what I'm getting out of these people." So I found out it's time. It's the time that you spend with people that is the most important. And that's when I hear Suzanne or you talk about time is the best commodity, you know, that it's our commodity to take advantage of it, use it while you can, and yeah, just let it go forth and multiply. It's wonderful. It's just absolutely wonderful. So I just wanted to say with the service, yeah, it took me a lot of different jobs to figure out which one I really liked and said, "Oh, there is meaning in this service."
Mhm.
So I just wanted to share that with you, all of you.
Nice share.
Beautiful. Beautiful. Time is our greatest commodity, right? And our presence is our greatest, is the best medicine. I think I read or heard somewhere that, you know, really for someone to feel heard and loved, it's like 7 or 8 minutes of our time, right? Less than 10 minutes. And I just feel
Mhm.
like if we could just, you know, even though, you know, sometimes we may not have a lot of time to spend, you know, with someone sitting on a bench somewhere, or, you know, life can be pretty busy, but really it takes just this concentrated time. It just can change the trajectory of someone's day, of someone's life.
Mhm.
Powerful. It's powerful. Oh my gosh, that's beautiful, Heather. Thank you so much.
Oh, you're
Hello,
welcome.
good to see you. I wanted to just make sure. Good to see you. That color's good for you. Pretty. Um, so do you guys have any questions about the homework? I don't want to not, you know, make sure that you guys have any questions, if you just answering any questions about that, because we can also do role playing or we can just keep this loose and fluid. But this is your time together. So
Well, I was going to say that when I'm sort of like Vernita, what I did, I joined in January and I kind of started moving ahead. And so I just familiarized myself and made copies of everything and kind of got things in notebooks and said, "Okay, I'm going to get on top of this," because I really don't know what kind of a student I'd be after all these years. So that's why I said, well, what I'll do is then when I start the lives, and what I do is I take lots and lots of notes. And then so after last night or the other day, I was thinking, oh, I think I really have to read my notes through because I relate it to like learning how to drive a stick shift car. You have to practice and all this because I find I kind of go blank and I'm thinking, what would I do if I'm supposed to be asking questions? And I kind of go blank. So I'm thinking today I was going to spend my day just going over my notes. And if I even had to, I'd go back over the live and watch the replay just to bring myself up to speed because talking about it and then putting it into practice are two different things. I
Yeah.
I found it kind of going, uh-oh, now what am I going to do? And I'm such a perfectionist anyway. Everything has to be just right, or I'm not happy with it. So anyway, that's kind of my issue. But anyway, so that's where I'm kind of at. I thought, well, today's Friday. I'm going to spend the day reading over my notes, and then I'll know how to kind of role play and put myself into this, because yesterday I had coffee with a friend, and she has a sister who's in hospital, and they don't know if she'll make it or not. But and this is down in the States. And so we sat and spoke. And I said, well, do you have any questions? And I started thinking, oh, hey, I'm already doing this, and I could feel myself going. So I asked her, what are your questions? And she started to ask me, and that opened the door for me to, otherwise I'm just sitting there going, what am I supposed to do? Just teach and educate and support? Oh God, well, how do I do this? So I found, yeah, ask questions, and then it kind of opens the playing field for everybody to step in and go, oh, this is what I need to do. This is where this is where it's going. So anyway, that's all I had to say.
Perfect, Heather. And that's, I think, you guys are going to be so surprised when you continue on your journey as a doula giver. This program is amazing. It really, truly helps to prepare you to step into that space. And by the end of the training, or even halfway through, you're going to be like, it's almost like you're channeling Suzanne. And I'm not even making that up, because you're going to have words in your vocabulary that may or may not have existed before. But all of a sudden, it's like, she's such an excellent teacher that it's really just all of a sudden words are coming out of your mouth and things begin to stick. And you're absolutely right, Heather, about really being curious about where people are at, because we have to meet them where they're at. If we have an agenda of, these are the things that we need to get in order, we need to teach them, because really there is a sense of urgency, because you're gonna be so in tune with your client and your caregivers and their loved ones that sometimes things move along pretty quickly, and so there may not be a lot of time, and so you might feel a sense of urgency of like, oh my gosh, we got to get them ready, but they may still be in the shock phase and they're going to hear nothing when they're in the shock phase, and so really just meeting people where they're at. And so really just being familiar, like this week in particular is really just learning about those phases as someone begins in their transition phase, and then once they start going active, and you're going to be able to tell, oh my gosh, they're sleeping more, oh my gosh, you're going to just have this awareness, okay, they're just going to start mentioning, I'm having difficulty swallowing, or they're just going to stop eating and drinking, because the body knows what to do. And you're just going to pick up on those cues, and you're going to have that awareness. And so really just having those, just, finding out from your clients' loved ones, tell me what their typical day looks like at this point. Once they become incontinent, that's another sign. The other thing is, their loved one might be saying, gosh, they were reaching out, or they were talking to their mom, their mom's gone. And then you're like, I know where this is going. And just in a loving and gentle way, just reassuring them. I think someone had asked a really powerful question in the group. It actually was asked twice in the Q&A recently about how do you navigate if the person is, if your client is still awake, alert, and they're in their transition phase, does this particular conversation, is it focused towards the client or is it focused towards the family? And I say both personally, and I'm only speaking from my own personal experience, is that as a doula, the person that is hiring you as a doula is likely the caregiver, but oftentimes the at least in my experience, the clients that have hired me have actually been the person having their end of life. And so they already understand the importance of what a doula can offer. And really the conversations that I've had are actually with the person having their end of life experience. And I ask them, what is it that you want to know? Like letting them drive the bus. And then, you know, one of my clients who had ALS was just like, okay, you know, I've heard enough. I don't really need to know what else is happening. And it was really important for her to make sure that her husband was not the caregiver, that I would be the one as the backup for her daughter-in-law who was going to be her primary caregiver. And so I assumed the role of just being that extra person, that extra layer. But I think that really just honoring where they're at and asking those open-ended questions. What is it that you want to know? Let them drive the bus. And once, of course, when someone becomes active and they're in that sleeping coma, making sure that your client is comfortable, you know, making sure all those 3 questions have been asked. Is there any safety? Is there any acute issues? And you know, a support system, making sure those are all covered. Once you get your client all tucked in and know that they're comfortable, and then the focus, a majority of the time, is with the family, sitting down and having a cup of tea. Okay, we're at this stage. How is it going? What questions do you have of me? That's really at least the flow that I've been able to establish and maintain with my families and caregivers. So it's really organic, and you're going to know they're going to say something and you'll be like, okay, that's where we're at. I have some additional information for you. I don't know how many times I have heard from families that, and I am just ashamed to say this, that the nurse does not have time to be at the bedside and they hand her a pamphlet, like, this is what your end of life experience, and the family is just like eating up that
Ooh.
information in a book because the hospice nurse staff, social workers, they just don't have time to be at the bedside. And so that's where we're really going to be able to shine, because we're going to have the knowledge and we're going to be able to support them and stay at the bedside as long as they need us.
Mhm.
Yeah. You know, the other signs are, you know, other signs when someone is in their active phase is noticing their body, right? You know, we're not going to be doing physical care, but they might say, gosh, I noticed that mom's fingertips are blue, or it looks like there's some bruising on her tummy or her knees. And that's just really that perfusion, you know, the blood, the heart is just getting really tired, and the blood's not flowing, perfusing through the body. And so those are just really important cues. Also, the breathing changes that can be kind of alarming for people. And you know, to me, it's like the laboring process. You know, sometimes there's panting, sometimes there's, well, oftentimes, you know, the panting, and then there's this absence of breath, you know, and just I oftentimes just put my hands on their chest, you know, and we don't need to get their blood pressure. We don't need to do any of that. That's why we shine, because we're non-medical holistic practitioners. And I just match my breath with theirs. And you know, you can just tell that they're getting close, and you're going to be so well prepared for this as long as you stay. And I know all of you will be that calm, beautiful, calm voice, and that peaceful presence that's just going to lower the energy in that space so that they can feel prepared for that moment. It's pretty sacred. Hi, Jackie. It's good to see you. Welcome. Please feel free. We're coming up on the hour, and then we're going to go out in breakout rooms. So V, for last week when you were not, last week we did breakout rooms. You're welcome to stay. It is super fun. You can actually, I'm going to place everybody in a breakout room. And if you guys want, it might be a great opportunity to, one, introduce yourself. You maybe mention where you're located, what brought you to this space. This is an opportunity for you guys to really connect. And my hope is that as you guys go along, you can reach out to one another so that you can practice these role playing practices together. But during the breakout session, you guys can practice some things. How would you have that conversation? This is a safe space. Um, but do you guys have any other questions at all?
You know, I just wanted to mention to you that Clarice had asked quite a while ago about, and maybe, no, I don't, it was since I joined. She was just curious about the Death Cafe. And I don't know if you saw that in the messages.
Oh, thank you. Thank you, Sydney. Yeah, so great question, Clarice. Yeah, and Clarice, if you need to not be a part of the breakout room today, that's totally fine. I know that you're working. But so a deaf cafe is actually something that was started by a gentleman, and it is it was in England, and he really wanted to, and I think a deaf cafe started not that long ago, maybe 10 or 15 years ago. And it was started by a gentleman who just really wanted to talk about death and dying. And he just noticed that it was like nobody was talking about this. And so it was just really a space for people to talk about it. And he just having conversations. And so he started inviting people over to his home, and it grew into this beautiful big gathering. And let me look up a Deaf Cafe and see when it was started. So it was something that he created, and then now there are deaf cafes all over the globe. There's online deaf cafes. It's amazing. You can actually go onto an online deaf cafe anywhere in the country. In fact, I'm looking at the website, and there's Germany, and there's Italy, and
Wow.
there's China. There's a country called Ekaterinburg. They're everywhere, and so it is just an honor to be sitting in a space where people can they're open-minded, and they create a space where you can just talk about all things deaf. Now there are the beautiful thing about deaf cafes is that anyone is welcome, and and food is always so safe, right? So you can just have a cup of tea or a piece of cake or cookies, and it's just a great way for people to just have conversations and explore the kind of the beauty of death. And so you can actually host a deaf cafe in your community. And Suzanne has taken such a beautiful additional step because she started something. Well, she and you probably have heard her mention I'm forgetting her. Oh man, I'm forgetting her friend's name, Shotzi. So she and Shotzi started a deaf cafe in New York, and they just did this free, and it's free. So people just come, and they there are certain guidelines for a deaf cafe that you have to be mindful of. There's no education, there's no promoting of your business at a deaf cafe. They're pretty particular about that. So Suzanne and Shotzi did these deaf cafes at a library in New York, and people came, and it grew and it grew and it grew. And then COVID happened, and everything got shut down. And so Suzanne, as she's building Doula Givers, creating this space, she decided to do something called Life Cafe, because really, when we're talking about death, we're talking about life, living fully. And so she created Life Cafe, and she was doing Life Cafe online 3 times a week during COVID. And that's when I came in. I joined in 2020, and it was just a beautiful way. Everyone's invited, not just doula givers, everyone across the globe. And so it was this beautiful global community of just celebrating life during a really hard time. And so now she has taken it even a step further, and she's created something called Good Life, Good Death Cafe. And so the main difference between what Doula Givers is offering with the Good Death, Good Life Cafe and just a Death Cafe is a Death Cafe. We have to be in alignment of their rules, of we are providing no education, and we're just following some suggestions on how you can provide topics on what people can talk about, and then no speakers, no education, and no promoting of your business. So I personally felt the Deaf Cafe was a bit rigid because I really like the education component. And so I created something online called Death Over Tea. And so I do that monthly. It's been an online community, anyone can join. And so I've seen people kind of take a spin off and do death over drafts, death over desserts, death over dinner. Um, Yeah, and I've at independent livings, I've done something called death over dinner, where you just invite people and have a beautiful meal and just have a conversation. So it's same concept of a death cafe, just a little bit more flexibility on you can invite people to come in, you can provide education, you can promote, although, we really want to stay in alignment of, having making our services available to people, but not making that the primary focus. So death cafes are an amazing thing for the community, and you can certainly do that. I would encourage you guys to maybe start thinking about it. Libraries are a wonderful, wonderful space to do death cafes. You're welcome, Clarice. Libraries are an amazing place. They're free, and then they do all of the promotion, which is like so wonderful. But sometimes it's hard to get into libraries, I'm understanding, in some communities because the libraries like to happen in place to go. So there's just not a lot of space sometimes to get your event, your event there at the libraries. But it is free, and people can come. So I would encourage you guys to maybe start thinking about that as being something that you can provide in your community, and really start working on that now, because there's going to be a little bit of a lift getting prepared for that. And sometimes people are still working, or it's a time commitment. If you commit to one community event a month for the next 12 months, commit to something once a month that you show up. There may not be anybody that shows up, but you will show up. And I promise you, if you continue to show up for yourself and your community, people are going to become aware of your services, and that the possibility of one, building your business, but two, just being mindful about this is our role as doula givers. I think that we can't minimize that we came here to serve, and service is our number one priority, is just being of service. And when we are in alignment of working out of our heart space and not our head space, when we're trying to figure it out and plan and make things happen, then we kind of block the energy of the being in the flow. So when we're dropping into the heart space and being a servant for our community, that's where the magic happens. And I promise you, that's what has happened for me and so many others.
And Christine, I'm not going to be able to participate in the breakout session either, because I've been sitting in my car and I have to get moving again, because I have a full rest of the day and I have to leave home at 4 o'clock in the morning to head to the airport. So I just wanted to take the time to check in to get to know what was going on and what I was missing. So I look forward to joining you guys next week as well.
Perfect. Well, I'm so glad to meet you.
Yeah.
I'm so excited for you.
Yeah.
Likewise. Thank you. It's nice meeting you all.
You
Have a
too.
good
Thank
weekend.
you.
Be safe. Have a good Memorial Day.
Thank you.
You too,
All
B.
right.
Thanks so much.
Bye-bye.
Bye. Okay, ladies.
Christine,
Yeah.
just briefly, I actually am part of a death cafe. It's not one that I'm leading. It's pretty informal. And it's been wonderful, actually. It's nice to see the different, it's not always the same people every month. There's sort of a core group. It can be small, a little bigger. We meet at a coffee shop, so it's like not in someone's home, but there's coffee and or tea or whatever it is someone wants to order. And there's generally a loose topic suggested, but things morph and can shift. But it's been a lovely experience for all the people that go, and it's I think it really is appreciated and needed by many. Just that, it can be all sorts of different topics, but generally around end of life. But again, too, then you start to talk about living your life and things too. But you get to know people and their experiences, and there is education informally that happens from people's experiences. So for instance, the last couple times, there were a couple people that were curious about preparing for what their wishes were at the end of their life. And we were talking about all these things, and the 5 wishes document came up and things like that. So there are things that people and myself can bring in and then we start working on. So it's more of an informal kind of education. It's not like we're coming to educate you. It's more like we're all here together. Let's talk about this topic, or is there something else that's more important this month that someone needs to talk about? It's been a nice way of building community. Yeah. With people that you wouldn't necessarily have known or met or built community with as well. You know, it's like people coming from different spiritual groups and different, just because they heard about it. So it's grown organically. It's been a nice experience. And I would wholeheartedly encourage anybody to either be a host or join one, even if it's an informal gathering. I think they're really special, really special. And I would say, unfortunately, many people hear the word Death Cafe and kind of go, "Oh my God," but it's actually quite the opposite. It's really lovely. So
Awesome. Yeah, thank you for that. It can be so beautiful. The death cafes that I've gone to I've been so surprised by and just in awe of the range and age group of the people that come. There have been so many young people, and then, people that have had multiple experiences with death um, and, and some, yeah, you're right. It's just such a diverse group of individuals that, um, yeah, it's powerful. It is powerful to just be in that space. People are just I'm with my people, right? People just like people that are willing to have conversations around that, because sometimes it's like people ask, you'll find this, I'm sure. So what do you do? I'm a death doula. And they're like, oh, my phone's ringing and off they go, and it's just like, where'd they go? So at a death cafe, like, oh, these are my people. The Deaf Cafe that we hold here is that they'll hold it, depending on weather, they'll hold it at a beautiful cemetery. And it's just like, how cool is that, right? So, yeah, it's awesome. Thank you. Well, do you ladies, do you want to go ahead and we can do the breakout rooms? That would be super fun. Unless anyone has any, Jackie and Ray and Trina, did you guys have any questions regarding the homework before we go into the breakout room? I want to make sure and give you guys some time.
No, I'm fine. I was just jumping on to see what it was all about on the Fridays and Tuesdays. So yeah, I'm good.
Great.
I don't know if I can stay for the whole time, but I wanted to jump on here for a little bit.
Excellent. So Ray or Trina, welcome. You're muted, Ray. You're muted. One more try. Let me see if I can unmute you. Hang on.
Okay.
There. Okay, there you go.
That's good. Okay.
I can hear you.
Oh, technology. I just put in the chat. I'm so sorry. I came on late. I apologize for that. It's been a crazy morning and I just got called away and I wanted to do a breakout, but next week
Okay.
I'll try again.
Okay. Sounds good.
All right.
Thank
But
you.
I appreciate you all.
So glad that you were able to say hi to us. Yeah, it's good to see you.
Good to see you too. Bye-bye.
Bye. Hi, Trina. Oh gosh, I can't hear you. Let's see, you're unmuted. Do you have... I can't hear you, darn it. Do you have an external speaker or do you have earbuds on? If you go to the audio, do you see the little microphone? On that little up arrow, you can select a speaker, maybe that might. The only other option too is sometimes I have people log off and then log back in. Sometimes that helps. Just like restarting the computer, it seems to reset everything. You're unmuted on my end, so. Okay, yeah, for sure, for sure. Did you see the little under the audio, there is an up arrow where the microphone is, and then it says select a microphone, select a speaker. So if you just make sure that you have your computer selected. Okay. Yeah, you're on mute, so I'm not sure. You're welcome to just stay here or put in the chat too, or just you can leave and come back to. Oh, yeah, yeah, yeah. Okay. Yeah. Yeah, yeah, yeah. I understand. Okay. You're a busy girl. She's typing away. She's a much faster typer than I am. Okay, I'm not worried about the moment.
Where is she? Central.
Central Wisconsin? Okay, perfect. Not
Trina,
on
where
Facebook.
are you in Wisconsin?
Hmm.
Madison. Okay. I'll reach out to you. I'm not in Wisconsin. I'm in outside of Boston, but I moved here from Wisconsin, and I have people in Wisconsin right now, and I'm visiting there quite a bit. In fact, I have a very dear, close friend who is in hospice care. So
Okay.
I hope to be there quite a bit this summer. So
Let me put you and Sydney, since you and Trina have some connection there. I'm gonna put you two in a breakout room, and
she
then
doesn't have a way of talking.
can you guys chat back and forth?
Maybe.
Okay, reached out to Madison Death Collective, but not received a response. Excellent. Go, Trina, go. Go,
I'll
Trina.
message you. I don't know many people in Madison, but I'll see what I can find out.
She says she'll go anywhere. Yes, yes. Oh, I love it. I love it. Okay.
Trina. Okay, Trina. Trina, can you type your last name? Clement. Okay.
So
Are you on
Trina,
Facebook?
oh, she said that she's not on Facebook.
Oh, okay. Okay.
So
So she
emails, you guys can exchange
have an
emails.
email address. Can you type it in and I'll send you an email? Because I don't know how it's to message you.
Boy, aren't you glad you don't have 100 people on here at now?
Mm.
This is nice. At least it's small.
I know. I know. And
Oh, this
it's so,
technology.
I know. I know. Well, Trina, do you want to go into a breakout room? I want to make sure that you would be. This is why I cannot do it during live classes. Can you? No question mark. Oh, okay. Yeah. 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 I get it. Yeah. I get it. Yeah. Yeah. Gosh, I wish we could figure out how to unmute you, but
You know. Okay.
you know what I'll do is, let's see. Yeah. Oh, okay. Someone's going to help her.
Can I ask a technical question? Well, it's not
Oh,
technical.
please. Yeah.
It's
Go
actually
ahead.
not technical. It's it's more administrative. I don't know what kind of question it is. It's not technical. Are most of you printing out all the material off of the Doula Giver site, or are you just like printing out the workbooks, or are you, or saving it on a like thumb drive, or how are most of you handling your the material?
I've done both.
Organizing it, I guess. Like, okay.
Yeah, no, I got a notebook, so I've just been printing each section out, and then I've just been saving it onto my computer too. But I like paper to sit, to be able to
Yeah.
read rather than staring at a computer.
Yeah.
And so like the transcripts and stuff, so I could read them ahead of time. So like I had an idea of what she was talking about. So I don't have, it's my 3-ring binder right now. It's just,
Okay.
I just went through and printed everything that I could off so that I could just read it. So I just
Okay.
have it in sections.
Yeah, I think I'll do that too. I think it'll be better for me. I've been doing the workbooks. I'm trying to get my printer set up. It's a lot to print out.
It's a ton of printing, and I've done the workbook too, so that I guess just so that I had everything. But you're right. It's as my husband goes, we're out of ink again. It's like, yeah, I know. He's like, I'm buying lots of ink, but I don't know. It's just easier for me to read it and not just have everything in the. I'm old school.
I am too. I think
It's
it'd be
easier to
for me
read
as
books
well.
rather than
Yeah.
a Kindle or something. So
I was just,
Yeah.
my grown daughter, it's just an example. I mean, she's like always at me, Mom, you have a thumb drive, put it on the drive. You don't need all this paper everywhere. Like, what's wrong? So I was trying to be more forward and be like, okay, I'll just stick it, but I'm having the same issue. I need to write things down. I need to see it. I need to,
be able to
but
go
it is a
through it and
lot
stuff.
of printing. So that's why I was curious. Are most people just printing it out? So thanks. That's helpful.
Yeah.
I feel like I'm the only one that needs.
No, I think other people are doing it too.
I take a lot of notes. I take
Yeah,
lots
me
of
too.
notes, and that's why it's easier for me to take notes. But I did at Suzanne's book on Audible and through Amazon. That was fantastic to do it that way, because I don't know, my eyes get wonky, and then my head goes, and it's like I'm repeating, and I'm going, did I read that? And so I just got it on Audible, and I tell you, that was the best book to sit back and listen to her voice and have her.
Nice.
It was like a review from, starting earlier, because I've been doing like Jackie, printing things off and getting myself prepared so I can take the course now, this spring course. And it's been wonderful. So when I listened to Suzanne in the audio, oh, wow, it made all the world of difference. I was not exhausted. I wasn't tired. I was like, oh, this is really good. I'm learning a lot. So I highly recommend the Audible.
Okay,
for
thank
books.
you. Yeah, I have traumatic brain injury, and I don't talk about it much with people. It's not something you can see. Well, if you know me well, you'll know, but it's just reading, the paper is good, the computer is tough. Sometimes if I'll mention it actually, if I'm in class, I might look away a lot or something, or kind of look sideways, and it's not because I'm not paying attention. It's because of the screen. So I'm just kind of trying to figure out the best ways, learning what, for me. And this is it's a constant thing for me. It's not just this, but so it's helpful to know all the little tricks that you guys are doing. Thank you. I appreciate that.
Well, and I like what you're saying, Heather, too, about the Audible, because I bet I got the hard copy of it, but you're probably hearing different things too between what you're reading and what you're hearing. Both ways would probably offer something that of really being able to take away in a different way, So
Yeah.
I like the idea of doing both.
I've always struggled as a kid growing up reading, and everybody said, "Oh, you're fine, you're fine." And I thought, "Oh, I'm not fine. There's something wrong here." And so once I get something, it's in my head forever, but I have to get it in there. And so if I'm reading and then slow down on a sentence, or I go, "What did that say?" And I start to question myself. I've wasted so much time. So just listening to the audio of Suzanne, and her voice is really soothing anyway. And she's just so matter of fact. I don't know. It was the best experience. It's the first Audible book I've ever done. And I said, "Oh my gosh, I can't." Went ahead and bought a whole bunch of them anyway. And I've been giving the books out. And I have to say, I go to a pain clinic, and the doctor that's treating my back, he gives me injections in my back every month. And he is by trade, he's retired, but he came out of retirement, and he is a anesthesiologist. And he's a professor of obstetrics at the University of British Columbia. And so he came out of retirement. He had an illness, and then his wife said, "You need to go back to work." So he went back to work, and he decided to work in a pain clinic. So here he is. And I tell you, that man knows where to put a needle. He knows exactly on your back. And so anyway, he said, he says, "What are you doing with your life?" Because I had told him, "Well, yeah, what do you do in retirement? You got to find something with purpose." And he said, "Oh, yes, what are you doing?" And I told him about the death doula course and doula givers. And he just was so excited because he does birthing and works with other birth doulas. And he said, "Death doulas, oh, this is a whole new world." And he said, "It's a movement." And I looked at him and I thought, that's one of Suzanne's words. It's a movement. Okay. So anyway, I gave him the book the other day when I was in to see him, and he was just about doing cartwheels. He was so excited. He says, "I can't wait to turn this on to everybody at the University of British Columbia." And I was like, oh, we're on our way. We're on our way. So anyway, just had to share that with you too.
That's cool.
I
Yeah.
love that so much. We never know who we're going to come across, and like those conversations, it's beautiful. Oh, good for you, Heather. Good for you. That's how it is. That's how it
all
happens.
all because I used the audio, and I went the Audible. Oh, this is good. Well, I have all these books. I gotta. So now I know it.
Love
Perfect.
it. Love it. Oh my gosh. I am going to screen share because I want to see if we can get Trina online here. So hang with me. Okay. Uh, let's see. Nope, that's not going to work. Oh, wait.
Ooh, that's pretty.
Okay. Can you see my screen?
Yeah.
Okay. So Trina, let's see. How do I show you Zoom? Oh, dang it. I thought maybe I could show you. Hang on, oh, wait, here it is. Okay, so Trina, it's either at the bottom of your screen or the top of your screen. See where this audio, the microphone is? Where my little cursor is? It's either at the top of your screen or the bottom of your screen. Do you see that, the little microphone? Okay, you're clicking it on and off. Okay, so go ahead and unclick it one more time. Perfect. Now, right next to that microphone, you're going to see a down or up arrow. See where my cursor is? So click on that, and then you'll see select a microphone. And I'm using earbuds, so mine says Bose, the earbuds, but you can do whatever microphone. You could just say same as system.
Same as system. I don't.
You did it!
Can
Hello!
you hear me?
Mhm.
Yes!
Oh,
Good
good.
girl. Okay, yay. Okay, perfect. I'm
All
gonna
right.
stop sharing. Good. Okay. Let's
Thank
go.
you.
You're welcome. I know
Great.
it takes a village, man. It takes a
I'm
village.
Nice work.
Good
okay.
job. Okay. Well, let's do some breakout rooms and you guys just share some time together. So we have about a half an hour. So I think what I'll do is I'll put you guys in a breakout room. You guys maybe talk like 10 minutes each. And I really want you to just talk about whatever feels right for you. So if you want to just share a little bit about your background, if you want to share about the homework, share about some aha moments of what you've learned so far, or just whatever your heart is telling you to do. So Trina, since the breakout room's what's going to happen, have you done a breakout room before?
No, I
Okay,
couldn't make it last week. So,
okay. So it's super easy. So what I'm going to do is I'm just going to assign, there'll be two in each room. And so you'll have a thing that pops up on your screen that says join breakout room. So you're going to click OK, and then it's going to sweep you off into another room where you'll meet with another beautiful soul. And then you guys will just chat, stay off, keep yourself unmuted. And then what will happen is I'll send a little message about, as about a minute before we're about to switch or to move you back into the room. So I'll send a little message, time to wrap it up. And then, uh, and then you'll, and then there will be a countdown. You'll have 60 seconds. And you can either just, when you guys are done talking, you can just come into the room or you can just wait until it sweeps you back into the room. But most important is when you enter the room, it'll say, let's see, it'll say this meeting is there'll be a little alert that'll say okay or got it, that it's not being I'm not going to record what you guys talk about in the breakout room, so it'll say got it or okay. Be sure and click that, otherwise it's going to bring you back into the room and then I got to put you in a different room. So just be sure and hit okay. That's just my practice because that's what happened to me many times. So
Christine, I just have about 15 minutes. So I just
okay.
wanted to let you know that I won't
Okay.
have a full half hour.
Okay,
So
okay. Yeah, so just take whatever time, whatever room you end up in, and if you have to leave, that's totally fine. And then whoever's left in that room I can put you in the other room if you want, or you can hang out with me. So whatever feels right for you guys.
okay.
Perfect. Okay, are you guys ready?
Mhm.
I'm excited. Okay, perfect. Okay, so again, my technology, be patient with me. So we're going to do 2 breakout rooms. And okay, so off you go. We'll see you back here in about 20-25 minutes. So maybe 10 minutes each if you can. But have fun, have fun, get to know each other, and I'll see you soon. Hello. Hi. Oh, hang on just 1 second. Let me unmute you. There you are.
Sorry.
That's
Hi.
okay. Hi. We the groups are in breakout rooms. So would you like to join a breakout room and get to know some of them, or do you have any questions in particular? What would you prefer?
No, no. I'm just off to a really rough start. Uh my husband and I have a little bit of an age difference, so he's slow moving, he's got chronic pain, and he fell. So I've been dealing with that and a few other things. It's just when it rains, it pours. And so I'm hoping to start getting caught up real soon. Um, so that's, I mean, so far, all I've done is read the book and attend the Tuesday evening, except I missed the first one. But so anyway, I haven't done any of the, well, I've done a little bit of journaling, some of the like the homework prompts, but I haven't like finished them to my perfectionist standards.
I get
You
that.
know, like not submittable if it were required to submit them. So
Yeah.
anyway, yeah, so I'm just kind of late to the party, literally and figuratively here. So if it's worth it for the next 30 minutes, and I can join without interrupting, then, yeah.
Absolutely. So thank you. And don't ever feel, I think for one, there's that whole perfectionism and I just want to just give you some grace that you
Oh,
are just exactly where you're supposed to be. And life is in session. And so
yep.
there is no race, there's no competition, you're not late, you're just right on time. And so you're getting real life experience with your husband, to be honest, right? And so you're in it. And so this is not, something that you're just gonna just blaze through. This is a
Yeah.
process. And so
Yeah.
just giving yourself some grace. I'm loving that you're able to attend the live semester because truly it is a self-paced class. You can move as quickly or as slowly as as time permits. And so I'm loving that you're going to the live semester, and then you're welcome to join us any Fridays if you can. But if are you on Facebook as well, Catherine?
I have a Facebook profile, but I really don't like it. I can't stand it. I only joined because that's part of what's going on here, but I only once in a while look at it. I just happened to look at it Tuesday, before our live semester, but I don't know how active I'm gonna be.
That's okay. That's okay. That's okay. It's not a requirement at all.
Yeah.
And I think others are feeling the same way of just, we're just, I think that it's a beautiful thing. Doula Givers is doing this for the first time, offering these office hours. And, so that's twice a week. So you can always stay connected and ask questions. You're not alone. And so yeah, welcome, welcome, welcome. I'm so glad that you're here. Yeah. And don't feel pressured about being behind. You're not behind at all. This is a process. So yeah,
Okay.
welcome. Yeah, yeah, yeah. And also you can always stay connected, asking questions and sending an email to support at Doula Givers. And they're if something does come up and you have questions, then you can send an email to support. So yeah, I'm sorry if I'm breaking out. I'm not sure if that's me or if that's you. There seems to be a little bit of a break. Okay.
You're
Well,
fine on my end. I've heard every word.
perfect. Okay. Well, let me put you in. I know that one person, um, let's see. So I'm going to put you in another group because I know that one person said she had to leave in about 15 minutes. So I'm going to add you to breakout room 2. Have you done a breakout room before on Zoom? Okay. So it'll ask you to either say got it or okay once you get into the room. That'll keep you in the room. Otherwise, it'll shoot you back and I'll have to put you in a different room. So I'm going to put you in with Heather and Sydney. And
Oh, good. I think Sydney's a Massachusetts person also.
she is. Oh, excellent. Yep. Let me put you in there. So let me figure out how to put you in that room. So I'm going to put you into. Okay, so off you go and just, hop in there and I'm going to bring everybody back in about 15 minutes and then we'll just kind of have a little discussion afterwards. So I'll see you soon.
Good. Okay, thanks.
You're welcome. Welcome back.
Hi,
Hi. Oh,
just I guess.
good to see you. How did it go?
Oh, it's
That-
it's nice, it's nice to be able to. I think
Fabulous.
Fridays are very nice. It's a small group, and it's nice to have faces to names and get to know people a little bit. It's very, helpful. I think
Great.
it's helpful for
Great.
a sense of community, and also you realize that you're not alone in all this. I mean,
Yes.
you're not alone in all this, obviously, but just little things of.
We have more to relate to than we think. We
Yes.
all have more in common. It's really wonderful.
Awesome. Well, thank you. I'm so glad you guys enjoyed that. Trina, Catherine, I know Catherine popped on a little late. Thank you so much for joining. Just, as a reminder, if there's going to be during our times together on Tuesdays and Fridays, people are going to just due to time constraints and stuff. So there are going to be people popping on, popping in, popping out. So just being mindful when people come and go in the rooms, just saying hello and welcoming them because we're all still getting to know one another. So just welcome, welcome, welcome. Catherine, thanks so much for joining us. I know you had some time to share in that room. And Trina and Jackie, just welcome. How did that all go for you girls? Trina, you're all Zoom savvy now, so oh, yeah.
Well, I have to go.
Okay.
I have to
Bye-bye.
leave. It's 10 o'clock and I have an appointment this morning, so I gotta go.
Okay. So
Okay.
good. We'll see you soon,
Bye.
Heather. Bye. Have a great weekend. Bye-bye.
Thank you.
You're welcome.
Thank you very much, guys. Have a great weekend and a safe one.
Thank you. Thank you so much, Jackie. I'm so glad you were able to join us. Yeah. Thank you.
No, it's been
Have a
great. Thanks.
weekend. Good. You're welcome. You're
Thank
welcome.
you. Thanks for
Thank you for
holding
showing me your
space.
binder.
You're welcome.
I appreciate it.
Yay. Yay.
Everyone.
Bye.
Bye, you guys. Thank you so much. Good to see you.
Trina, I will send you an email. In
Okay,
just a
good.
minute, actually, so that you have my information too.
Okay, wonderful. I have to run off to run errands with my
Yeah,
powerless
you did.
adult child, but I look forward to connecting. And thank you, Christine, for your help so much.
You're so welcome. You're so welcome. We're all here to support one another. I hope you guys have an amazing weekend.
Thank you so much. You too. Do
All right.
let me know. I will reach out to Wendy, I guess it was, right?
Perfect. Mm-hmm.
Trying to remember. But if you find out anything about the Boston with Suzanne and the Boston book signing or what, get-togethers or whatever it is when she's here in town.
Okay. Okay. I will keep my eyes.
Something,
Okay. Yeah, I'll encourage Wendy to share it in the groups too. So yeah.
Okay.
Yeah. Awesome.
Okay.
Well, have a
Awesome.
great weekend.
Thank you so much.
You're welcome. Bye.
Bye. Have a great day.
You too.
Hmm.